Hi friends, welcome to Polish Mama Cooks. Have you ever made green beans that just didn't look quite alright? They were a bit grey and too soft. Or maybe you're looking for a new recipe for this year Thanksgiving. Or maybe, just maybe you want to convince your children to actually eat green beans. So today I'm going to show you how I do mine. A few days ago my daughter had her birthday and her favorite food are green beans. And with the upcoming Thanksgiving, I decided that this is a perfect recipe that I would like to share with you. I'm gonna do my green beans two ways. One will be baked in the oven, the other one will be steamed. They're full of flavor with some mushrooms and garlic and lemon. So I hope you will enjoy it, and let's start. So first thing that you wanna do is actually cut the ends of your green beans. Just small pieces like that. And put them away. You can actually buy already cut green beans that do not have ends, but you know, you can do it by yourself. It's a bit cheaper and you don't produce extra plastic. There is also another technique that you can use that I've been doing as well, but that is a bit more dangerous. You basically take a green bean and just chop off the end like that. I think it's a bit slower. It's more precise, but it's a bit slower. This way it's just safer and easier. So here is my steamer. Already you can see the water is hot, and now I'm gonna put my green beans. And the trick over here is to watch them. If you keep them for too long, they will become too soft and too dark or just gray. And in the meantime, I want to show you how to make the sauce for those green beans. So here I have a frying pan to which I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I'm gonna let it heat to a right temperature so I can add all the other ingredients. So my olive oil is already hot, and now I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of garlic. Sorry, 2 cloves of garlic chopped. And then let it cook for a minute, and to this I'm gonna add my green beans. Before I add my green beans, I need to take them out. So after about 5 minutes, I just gonna check if one of them is ready, and they crunch and they perfect. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take it off and put it in a cold ice bath. What it does is stop cooking them. So they've been bathing in a ice cold bath. I dry them a bit, and now I'm gonna just put it in there. I don't want to cook it for too long, so you should be doing that on quite big heat. I just want that garlic to go all over my green beans. And I'm gonna let it sit like that for a minute or so. I'm gonna add salt and some pepper. And to finish it up, I have a lemon, and I'm just gonna zest it into my green beans so it has a fresh, beautiful flavor. And the last thing I'm gonna do is add a bit of lemon juice. Let it sit for a minute or so. This is a quick job. Try it. They're so crunchy. You can see that? They snap. They're not too soft. They're absolutely perfect. I'm going to take them off the heat, transfer them to my bowl. For the second recipe, you're going to need to preheat the oven, chop some mushrooms, and also chop some shallots. I use here baby Bella mushrooms, and this recipe was inspired by a friend who took me to learn about mushrooms a few weeks ago. So I hope that will be up to her standard. So I just roughly slice them, and this is everything that I'm gonna do with them. And then second thing, slight shallots. I'm basically mixing all of the vegetables together, and then I'm gonna pour about a tablespoon of olive oil, add some salt, some pepper, and toss everything together until it's mixed. Whoops! The last thing I'm gonna add a bit of dry garlic. It smells very intense, but it's good. And you want to transfer everything on the baking sheet with a parchment paper or silicone mat like this. I prefer silicone mats because you can just reuse them, you don't have to throw them away. And just spread it around. Make sure your oven is preheated, because what we're gonna do, we're gonna put it for 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. Are you still there? If you are, I have one more surprise for you. I'm gonna show you now how to make green beans in a typical Polish way with some breadcrumbs. So for this recipe, which is a typical Polish recipe that my great aunt made for me when I was a child, I'm gonna use about 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm gonna let it melt. And then when it's melted, I'm gonna use some breadcrumbs. So when butter is melted and you add it, you want to move it around until it gets that lovely brown color. Just add some salt to that, and then take your crunchy, beautiful breadcrumbs and spread it all over. They are just delicious. Thank you for watching. Please remember to give me a big thumbs up and consider subscribing if you would like to see more recipes, Polish and sometimes not so Polish. Thank you, bye bye, smacznego!